Okay, the first thing that we have on there is this integrated internal control framework document. And it's a document that the Scott Lloyd group did. And it's just basically, it's a 117-page document is why we didn't print it. If you want to see it, we have it saved over in the office. But it's basically just for you guys to okay it. And it just outlines all of our procedures that we do in the county. So there wasn't a signature page for anything, but this is our roadmap that they have for us, and our last step is for you guys to just do an approval on it. So that's what that is.
Okay. You good with the roadmap?
If you guys want to see the document, we
Yeah,
can
you can
print.
come
We
over and
just
look
did.
at it. It's,
Yeah,
I didn't want
I
to
don't
print out a
blame you
bunch
for
of
not.
copies
And
of all those papers.
it's geared towards that ARPA funding,
Yeah.
so.
Okay, I'll make a motion we approve the integrated internal control framework for the ARPA document.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
I'll make a motion we approve the minutes of March 19th.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. I don't need to repeat those motions, do I?
No.
They've got them down there.
You've got tax roll corrections.
Yeah, I got it. You ready?
Yep.
I'll make a motion we accept the tax roll corrections.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Oh, yeah, we might mention that.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll go ahead and approve that.
Okay, I have a couple notes. Just to let you know on that, what is that, KNRC group, Barton, Ness, and Seward have joined. So did you guys, have you made a decision? Are you ready to?
What do you think, Clay?
I've got mixed emotions on
Okay.
this. I can see about the 30 by 30 thing. But as far as the lesser prairie chicken and rails to trails,
Talk about that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't have to decide today, we
I just
just,
thought I'd let you know that.
she'll just keep it on the agenda in front of you so you can.
So you say Barton and who?
Barton, Ness, and Seward counties have joined.
So
I mean,
that'd
the
be-
prairie chicken could affect us a little bit in Stafford County. My opinion, I mean, if they get something passed through now, it'd be easier for them to increase the scope, and then they'll be harder to get stopped. I'd be in favor of maybe going ahead and joining them.
I think, I mean, I'm kind of with Todd, I think that the 30 by 30 deal is scary, but the prairie chicken thing, I'm afraid that it's not gonna affect us as much right now with the area that they have outlined. But when if you give them that, I don't know if it'll move north and east and really affect our oil and gas. It will affect some producers in southwest Stafford County, for sure. But I don't know, the 30 by 30 deal is pretty far fetched,
Yeah.
but I guess if they're giving them
Well, that's
trouble on
what, a 30-year project, or within 30 years is what the goal was.
it. Yeah.
Um,
The one thing, she did say that she's gonna come every year, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, and they'll send like bulletins and updates, she said, as issues come up.
That's one thing that I was concerned about, is that we send them 5,000 and never hear from them again. But it sounds like she's gonna come, and I guess we can reevaluate.
You know, it impacts us just a little bit in Stafford County, and it impacts Western Kansas a lot more than us, but if we get something big in Stafford County,
And you're
and
not
then
in.
everybody else in Western Kansas goes, that doesn't affect us, we'll drop out. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on that Topeka and Kansas City and Wichita, the eastern half, controls. So I mean, I think at some point the western Kansas counties need to start getting together to where we got a more combined voice.
Yeah.
Well, that is concerning to me because we're losing less and less of a voice from western Kansas. And since with redistricting every 10 years, you can see where the urban areas are taking over more of a voice. And so they had, at one time they had 23 and they added 3, so that's 26. If we go, that'd be 27.
I would imagine they're meeting every week with new counties.
I would bet so. And as other counties join, more counties it'll snowball, I think.
I would be in favor of joining it.
And it seemed like sending out a newsletter every month or every quarter.
What did you say?
Quarterly, I think she said. That was an email a long time ago. But I think they're willing, if you reach out to them, or especially what's his name in Pawnee County, Bob
Yeah.
Ryan, I think he will keep you guys informed because he's close.
Yeah, he would love to come over and talk to us anytime we wanted.
I'm just.
It
I think
is
there's-
comforting, I guess, that Pawnee and Barton are on board with it.
Right.
I mean, because,
And I think Bob is on the board.
He
of
said
the
he
deal,
was.
So I mean,
He's-
if we had contact, he'd come talk to
Yeah.
us anytime.
yeah. I'm okay with doing it.
Want to make a motion?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm good.
I make a motion that we join the KNRC, Kansas Natural Resource Coalition, for 2022.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Joyce is here. Yeah, go ahead and get her.
Are you ready, Joyce?
I am.
All right.
I found you this time. I apologize for not showing up last time. I thought it was 8:30 at night. So there I
No.
was, parked out front at 8:30, wondering where everybody was.
Yeah.
So I won't take much of your time, but this is an issue that I think really needs to be brought to public attention. Happened in Maxville, but it's happening all over the United States and actually all over the world. I'm very surprised that it actually showed up in our little small community of Maxville. About a year ago, I started, seeing things on our local community bulletin board that were very alarming to me. Anti-racist, and this one in particular, you know, most of the time I just walk by and ignore, and I could tell that people were taking things down. But when this one showed up, I don't know, I had enough. And, you know, for the most part, I guess most people are afraid to speak out for fear of reprisals. Local businesses don't want to ruffle any feathers or, you know, stand up. But I just decided it was time for me, professionally and personally, to speak out against this kind of extremism that is infiltrating our communities. I did post a reply to this on our bulletin board that was quickly removed. And I did go to our city council last week and speak to them about it. Some of the people in Maxville were aware of who the person was that was doing it. I don't know who she is, or I don't know who, I don't know her personally. But I went to the Anti-Defamation League online and registered a complaint. So we've been assigned a case number and it's now being documented. They have what they call a heat map, where they keep track of all the incidents that's in the United States. Obviously, and you can go online. I've given you the information if you want to go online and look at it yourself. The East Coast, the South, and the West Coast, but there were big splotches on Wichita, Salina, Hutchinson, Hayes, and now I guess we can add our little Stafford County to that. So I don't know how you all feel personally, but this goes beyond, politics. This is shades of Adolf Hitler marching through our county. I come to you as elected officials, as representatives of our community, influencers, and just want to point out to you what is going on. Overall, and I did sit in on one of the webinars that the Anti-Defamation League provides. And what I learned that day was that these groups are obviously designed to intimidate and create fear, and they use harassment tactics. There was a video that's embedded in this if you want to watch it. It shows there's a lot of them hanging banners over freeway overpasses, a lot of graffiti on public buildings, specifically churches and synagogues, etc. If we don't know who they are and what they are, we can't combat it. In 2021, there were 4,800 reported incidences. It was the second highest record. There are 38 individual groups that they're tracking. 3 of them, though, are the big ones. They represent 91% of what's going on. And I knew instinctively that that wasn't just one person designing these posters and putting them. There's, a bigger organization behind them. 352 of them specifically target the Jewish community, and that's a 37% increase. I don't know. I'm not Jewish. I don't know if there are any Jewish people in Stafford County. I think there are 2 synagogues in Wichita. That's all I'm aware of. But to me, this goes way deeper than anti-Semitism. This is, it's a very dangerous road that we travel when we start allowing this kind of stuff to go unchallenged. We live in the U.S. and there's freedom of speech, so we have to be very careful about that. We can't deny people their right to speak out, but when they're spreading this extremism and hate, then we do have the right. I think we have the responsibility to stand up and say, no, we're not going to put up with this. And actually, there are places online where, and I fell prey to this because I'm sure that when I posted my response to this, that the person who did it went online and got her $100 reward for doing it. There's big money behind this. But I did learn the proper protocols, and I've listed them here. So if you see them in your community, don't take them down. That's the wrong thing to do. Instead, document it, and I just did that instinctively because I wanted to show other people that I knew what was going on in Maxville. Report it to your local law enforcement immediately and let them handle the matter. And then report it to the ADL. And they have a regional for Kansas area to report it to. And I guess, the last thing I want to say is, I'd like to read, this is what I posted, and it's a quote from Elie Wiesel, who was a Romanian-born American writer professor, I'm sure many of you already know who he is, political activist, Nobel laureate. He was a survivor of Auschwitz and Buchenwald concentration camps. And he said, we must take sides. Neutrality helps the oppressor, never the victim. Silence encourages the tormentor, never the tormented. So I'm speaking out, and I'm hoping that just spreading the word will help us be aware in our small community and add whatever we can to the bigger picture. And I guess I didn't really introduce myself. I'm Joyce.
Hi, Joyce.
Are there any questions, comments, opinions? I'd like to hear your thoughts, if you have any.
Where did you say this was posted at?
Oh, on our community bulletin board. Nobody gets mail delivered in Maxville.
Yeah.
Everybody has to go to the post office. And right beside the post office door, there's a community bulletin board. You have to walk right by it when you walk in to get your
And this
mail.
is the city of Maxville's own building or post office building or?
I don't know
Federal
who
building.
owns the
Government
building.
owns the post office.
Yeah.
But the post office doesn't have any control over that bulletin board. No, they don't.
I
have-
was just trying to get
Yeah.
some clarity on where it was.
Yeah, because I've spoken to Haley, she's the postmistress there. She doesn't have any authority over that. You know, it's there for people to share information about events, you know, if they have something to sell, blah, blah, blah. But it's not there for this kind of
Yeah.
activity, I don't believe. So, yeah. I've been, you know, I go every daily at least, and I haven't seen any recently. And I don't know whether, you know, the heat is on and whoever's, you know, this person is has decided to just, you know, take a low profile
Go
for a while.
underground.
Yeah. Yeah. But whoever it is part of a bigger organization. It's not the individual that frightens me. It's the organization behind it that I find terrifying. You know, our fathers and grandfathers, brothers and sisters fought in World War II. And they would be the first ones to stand up and say, this is not right. And you know, it's Jewish, but it could just as well be, you know, any other selected population that they chose to attack. The actual, this actual thing is, down at the bottom, you'll see it says, Shabbos Goy. That is a derogatory term for non-Jews. And this is a bigger piece of a conspiracy theory that's going around, that the Jews developed the virus, the COVID virus, so that they could then develop a vaccine and sell it and get rich. Please, people. I mean, even the people distributing this, do they believe that? I mean, I guess they do. I don't, my mind can't get around that kind of thinking. So, I don't know. I mean, and you look at that, and part of me wants to just laugh at it, and the other part of me is terrified by it. So.
It's a tough deal on the freedom of speech deal where they can post stuff like this. And sometimes when they post stuff like this, I wonder if it's not just more inflammatory, trying to get responses to it. And
Yes.
probably what they'd love, probably what they would love to happen is for them to bring down one of their head debaters and you show up down there at City Hall and you guys have our debate, so they get, you know, television time, rural
Yes.
Kansas.
Yes.
I would say probably
Publicity.
if this ever does get a foothold in Maxville or St. John or any of the towns, I would say it would be up more of the responsibility and would probably be better handled by the local groups getting together.
What groups?
I don't know, you guys goes down there and drinks coffee at,
I don't, so.
well, I mean, I don't think if the sheriff's department runs down there and says you can't do that, they can say we have freedom of speech and we can stand here and there.
Oh, yeah, they
But
can
if-
tell them not to
If
do
they
it.
form
Just
20,
That's-
if they have 20 local people get together that aren't in favor of this,
Yeah, and. put
they
it
have a
in
lot broader,
Persuasion.
persuasion.
Yeah, no, it's not up to the police to stop it or to say you can't do it. But that's who you report it to, so that they are aware that it's
Yeah.
going on.
Has this happened multiple times?
Oh,
Has there been
yes.
several different
Oh.
things or?
Yeah, over the last year, many.
Yeah.
And most of them, are there for a few days and then somebody tears it down, but they just keep going back up. And they're on a myriad different issues. Some of them attacking the Mexican population. Some of them attacking the lesbian and gay population. Some of them attacking abortion issues. Just many different ones. Yeah. And of all, this is the only one that I saw that was specifically targeting the Jewish population. But,
Is that group's name on this flyer anywhere? As far as where they would contact so that that gal would, or whoever is doing this gets their $100? Or is this research that you did to come up with that group's name?
this is research, all that, I sat in on this webinar. And if you
Goyim Defense League.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
the name of it, the Goyim Defense League.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you got time, if you're interested, you can watch this video and it explains it a lot more in detail and probably a lot more clearly than I have been able to. Okay,
Good, thanks for coming in.
my pleasure. Thank you for letting me
Yeah,
talk.
yeah.
You ready, Marshall?
All right, we're just rolling through this.
You guys are.
Oh, yeah.
I just have some updates for you guys. The cameras are up at Hudson Sewer and Radium. As of right now, they're right on the buildings, but we've got a pretty good view of everything. I talked to the company and they said if we decided that we wanted to put them further away, shining, pointing more directly at the buildings, in the future it's not that hard. So, see how it goes for a while and just kind of look at them. They're not online, so you have to access them at the station, but
So it's probably more for the deal is if something happens, we'll be able to
Correct.
go and see or what was going on.
we've got roughly 55 to 60 days of recordings on them before they start overrunning. So, I figure we have something end up missing, or, if there starts to become a lot of thefts in one of them towns, we can go look at them, something like that.
So you put stickers on the door that said, beam on.
Now, but Maxville, they've got concrete slab poured. The building should be delivered this month sometime. That's about all I know on it. And then the last thing, Farm Bureau, Stafford County Farm Bureau Association reached out and they wanted to purchase they wanted to do a grain entrapment deal for the county, but we already own one. So they asked us what the county needed as a whole that would help us, so they're actually gonna give us some money to purchase a 5-gas monitor for the county, something that we don't have. So.
Is that something you can drop down in a bin or bring to a oil
anything,
fire?
yeah. Yeah,
something like that.
pretty much detect all types of toxic gases and stuff.
Is that a big deal or a small deal?
No, it's not very big. That's basically what it is.
Okay. What's one of them cost?
About $2,500. So, but
And that'd primarily be used just for a tank or a bin or
yeah,
well pit, something, see if there's
I
gas
mean, if
in
you
there.
had a H2S emergency, oil field emergency, and you showed up on site, you could run that before you
yeah,
tended to the emergency, or if you had a grain bin or something as far as oxygen.
yep. O2, CO, H2S. I mean, it's got yeah, and basically what we'll do, just like with the grain entrapment equipment, we'll just keep it here in St. John. Actually, it'll probably stay in the red truck. And then if there's a need for it, you know, one of us will just respond with it with the red truck.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Cool deal.
the skid unit for the Can-Am,
Have you got it? Have you got it? Okay. We saw that on the encumbered
Yeah.
sheet and we wondered about that.
everything's on back order.
Okay.
The Can-Am is, or
No,
just
we got
skid?
Just the skid.
The slide-in skid unit for the
For the sprayer.
Yeah.
sprayer.
You approved it last year, so we had to
Yeah.
encumber that, and so we
It'd
were.
be nice to have that here in a few weeks.
They're hoping,
Yeah.
they're hoping by the middle of April we'll have it, but there's no guarantees.
Right after everybody burns out all their CRP. Nice.
I mean, we
There's
can
nothing you
actually,
can do about it.
no, there's nothing we can do about it, but we do have the old,
You have a tank in there, right?
we have the old tank
Yeah.
and little pump that, I mean,
What skid did you end up getting? Did you get one with a steel tank, low profile, or
it's a
what?
low profile tank, yeah.
Okay.
You know, honestly, I don't remember all that.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I don't
It
remember.
has been a long time.
Because we ordered it back in October or November.
I was gonna say
think.
October.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
But at first they were having problems getting the pumps and motors. And so those were on back order and they'd ordered everything and typically they got tanks every month, month and a half. Well, they haven't had any tanks shipped in. So, big waiting game.
As long as when you finally get it, they don't say it's twice as much.
Right. I'm not gonna hold my breath, but
Yeah.
I don't know. We haven't paid for anything yet, so.
Does your old one, is it just a little electric pump or is it a gas pump?
Just an electric pump. I mean, it's just a 50-gallon.
Like a little sprayer, like what you get Orscheln's with hand one?
After it rains this week, I imagine people will be burning CRP like crazy.
yeah. Yep.
If it rains, but it's gotta rain at some point.
Yeah, I haven't shut anybody down from burning. I did discourage some large tree piles that were in pastures. That were, stuff that's gonna burn for a couple days and with winds coming up, and just told us that if we could wait until we get some moisture, something like that, but
A guy will probably, even if it doesn't rain, a guy will probably be all right on like CRP corners and stuff like that where you can disc around them and there's nothing else to get involved.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna have to do it coming up kind of regardless.
right. Cause I think middle of April's cutoff, isn't it?
Yeah, I think.
I'm not sure.
Is it the 15th of April? Is it cut off on CRP?
Maybe.
Is it very later than this then?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, it'd be
I
better.
know it's typically sometime in April. I think.
It'd be better to burn it as quick as a guy can
Yeah.
for nesting.
So, that's all I got for you guys.
Okay.
Get your truck running.
Finally.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The scraper's still parked out there in the same spot.
I've got them ready to go on.
Okay. We got anything else?
No, your meeting, that Pawnee County Leadership meeting next Monday, they sent you guys maps if you want, so you know exactly where you're going for that meeting.
And this pertains to just the Larned State Hospital, right?
Yes, I think
Yes,
so.
I think that's the way I understood it. I don't think I have any of that.
What is that?
Monday?
The 21st, you all said you were gonna go, it's
Yeah.
a lunch meeting.
The only reason I'd go would be to convey concerns that Rob has, particularly when we had that one
Mm-hmm.
individual that sat over there for how many hours before being handed off.
And
Are you going?
with Sheriff King going, he's been a component.
But you're
With
going,
the state and everything else on this other guy, he'll probably bring these things up.
Are
If
you
you're
going to
going.
this?
I didn't plan on, I wasn't really invited, I mean, didn't. So.
Well, we could flip coins.
And I'm sure you could, Rob, I doubt if it's a. I mean,
I'm gonna
oh
go
my
for a
gosh,
little
we don't have
bit.
food for you.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna go the whole 11:30 to 6 p.m.
no, 2:30.
It doesn't go till 6 p.m. Where'd you get that business? It's only like a
It's
couple hours.
11:30 to 2, I think.
11:30 to 2:30.
And
So you're
you-
basically gonna get there, meet and greet, and then they're gonna have a dinner, and then you do something.
They're gonna talk to us a
Yeah,
little
a
bit.
bologna sandwich and a potato chips.
Or maybe
and
not a
a
chicken,
There you go. You want me to bring you back some chicken? I'm gonna go to it for sure.
probably
I'm
chicken.
close.
Yeah, you should.
11:30 to 2:30.
Do you have court that day? Oh, okay, so you probably couldn't go anywhere.
I'll just have to see what we have up for it, so if you, I could get a map of it just in case. 'Cause it's all
Yeah,
state
she can-
grounds, isn't
I'll
it?
print you one.
Yeah, she could
Okay.
get you one.
Mike, how are we doing on the tax sale?
We just got bids, to do the title work and then
So is this the Lawrence
once we
State
know
I guess.
title
uh,
works are,
I'm assuming
we'll
this
send
is
out
off,
letters
what's
and-
that highway?
then start.
Are we still
Or
fairly on
whatever.
schedule?
Income
Okay.
Yeah,
tax
we're
ways.
about 2 months behind,
Yeah, I get
There's all kinds
confused.
of
but
stuff.
Yeah.
I was waiting on information, let's just. put it
Yeah.
that way.
And I was just wondering if we were,
Is this at 260?
Do we have lots of properties
800 people employed.
right now,
Yeah,
or?
it's always a lot of people.
I wanna say 44,
Oh geez.
but don't quote me on that.
But, I mean, quite a few.
Yeah.
There always is.
And then. a
But
lot-
then half
a lot
of them come in and
the
pay
Yeah,
before.
draw
That's normal though, isn't it though, and then it just weeds on down.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So on that title work, you send that out for bids to several different title.
And whoever is, I mean, most of them come in about the same, you know,
Mhm.
so we try, you know, somebody local.
Yeah.
But. I
Once
think
you
that-
send those out, if they come in and pay the next day, they've gotta pay.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah, then they're responsible for the title work.
gets added on.
The only way we get stuck with the title work is if a land bank buys it, correct?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Was this last week?
Yeah.
And what was it?
That's the lease agreement for the Fisher Pit west of town where we grind concrete.
Oh, okay.
That land's gonna be for sale on April
You're
16th.
done, Tom.
And our lease,
You don't have anything to
is
do?
Do you guys
nullable.
have anything else before we adjourn? No. We're gonna adjourn.